Welcome everyone to the Western Conference semifinals of the sold-out American Airlines Center in downtown Dallas, Texas. It's Game 4 as the top seed Phoenix Suns take on the Dallas Mavericks. The Suns lead the best-of-7 series 2-1. With Doug Collins and Hall of Famer Cheryl Miller, this is Kevin Harlan with now a look at our McDonald's starting lineups. Little change, and Doug, again, we're going to be watching the guards. The 2-point guards to be suspended with Steve Nash against Jason Terry.
Well, Kevin, you and I had a chance to speak to Avery Johnson before the game. He said he had a conversation with Jason Terry in front of the team. He said, look, we would not be in the second round without you. You were our most valuable player against Houston. We need you to be aggressive, to attack on the pick and rolls, to set the tone for our team. Look at Avery Johnson there, and speaking with him before the game, I think he felt very confident that Jason Terry was going to come out and play well. And I agree with Magic Johnson. If Dallas can get into the lane, get some opportunities inside, get to the free throw line, dribble, penetrate, they'll have a great chance tonight to try to even this series.
Doug, both newspapers in both Phoenix and Dallas have made a big deal about the number of minutes that the starters for the Phoenix Suns are playing. In particular, as you take a look at some of the records in the regular season, of course, in the playoffs at home, Dallas 2-3. Would that be a concern of yours to play your starters that many minutes in these games?
Well, I think Mike D'Antoni feels that his team is very well conditioned. Steve Nash knows when to pick and choose his spots. Marion and Stoudemire can run all day long, so I don't think that's a concern now. But as the series, if it gets into 7 games, it definitely could be something looking down the road.
Solid crew working this one. Bennett Salvatore, Joe DeRosa, Mark Wunderlich. And here is Nash coming off a 27-point performance, and Stoudemire quickly crowded, and Richardson for 3 and a Dampier rebound.
Saw the early double team on Stoudemire to try and get the basketball up. That's when Richardson's shot, though. He loves that 3 on the angle.
And Richardson now guards Josh Howard at the other end. Travel on a turnover, the first tonight for the Dallas Mavericks.
Oh, just the presence of Amare Stoudemire. Blocked 5 shots in game 3. A couple of them sensational block shots. He knocked completely out of bounds. So Josh Howard looking over his shoulder, trying to find him.
In this series, Phoenix has won by 25 and 17 points. Dallas has won a game by 2. It's Nash to Stoudemire with Dampier defending.
Well, this young guy is playing sensational basketball game. His presence and power around that basket has set some kind of tone.
Jason Terry picked up by Nash, and Michael Finley for 2. This pace is what the Suns want.
Well, you can see the matchups. They're going to play a big man on Nash. You're not going to see Terry much against him as you see Nash in the lane, but they're opening up with Josh Howard on him. You'll see Finley against him, maybe Marquise Daniels, but they do not want Jason Terry guarding Nash.
Marion is on Terry, and no one is on Josh Howard from 3. Dampier with the offensive rebound. That's what he did in game 2.
Well, he needs a great start and staying out of foul trouble. Avery Johnson also told us if he picks up 2 early fouls, he's staying on the floor. Doesn't do any good to be an assistant coach.
Wild pass by Nash and picked up by Jason Terry. And over Nash. Terry hits, and he's got to be aggressive.
Absolutely. Again, Kevin, he was terrific in that Houston series. Remember game 4, he had 32 points, hit some huge shots, and then the deciding game 7, 31 points. Got to the line 12 times. He's only shot 2 free throws in the first 3 games of this series. That tells you a little bit about his aggression.
There's the NBA Coach of the Year, Mike D'Antoni.
Okay, this Phoenix team, though, was tough on Friday night. When that game was on the line, Kevin, they were as good as I've seen them play all season long. The sense of purpose that they had.
And Josh Howard against Richardson.
That long, quick step of Howard, we saw that in the Houston series. He has the ability to get to the basket.
And Nash all the way underneath. He's got such confidence in his game right now.
He's just so under control at all times. It's the essence of the game is deception with him. They were very fortunate at that time as Dampier went to the low post against Stoudemire. Remember now, Amare Stoudemire does not want to foul, Kevin, so he should be able to get some easy shots inside.
Dampier has started 2 at 2 with Stoudemire inside. His foul. Maybe Finley got a chunk of him as he went inside. And we're going to see Amare Stoudemire at the free throw line. The foul goes on Finley for the first time, and Amare Stoudemire, Doug, has taken more free throws than any other NBA playoff player this postseason.
Well, he's averaging over 16 attempts in this series. That's his 50th attempt. You see his numbers. Look at the points up from the regular season against Dallas, the rebounding, the free throw attempts. He has been some kind of spectacular in the first 3 games of this series.
Amare Stoudemire coming off a 37-point, 14-rebound performance in Game 3. Here comes Dallas. They have hit 4 consecutive shots. They have started 4 of 6. Dirk Nowitzki.
Well, 8 for 24 against Sean Marion in Game 3. Everybody in Dallas is waiting for him to have a breakout game.
Suns have started 3 of 4. The first minutes of this first quarter. And Richardson.
That's where he was a load when he played for the Clippers. On that block, I thought they got a little bit out of sync in Game 2, trying to go to him with that mismatch against Jason Terry. I think Steve Nash is going to have to pick and choose. The bread and butter of this team is Stoudemire, Nash, pick and roll, everybody playing off of it. Occasionally drop that ball down into the post, let somebody go to work.
Now here's Howard. Maybe he'll be trying to pick and roll with Nowitzki as Nowitzki faces the double. And the shot clock is down to 7 for Jason Terry with a Howard screen over Richardson. Marion with the rebound. And a 3 from Quentin Richardson. Stoudemire gets it.
So quick on that second jump.
Look at that pass by Nash to Marion. Michael Finley. Thrown away with another turnover for Dallas. They've got 2 and Phoenix has 2 so far.
You can see Phoenix so aware of Michael Finley when he comes off those screens. In Game 2, he was brilliant. 5 of 6 from 3, had 31 points.
And Terry was a nice steal for the Dallas Mavericks and leads it the other way and flips it to Finley for 2. Nash with the rebound. Into Terry and picked up by an aggressive Jimmy Jackson, who's taking the place of Joe Johnson and doing a very good job at it.
Well, he was terrific, Kevin, the other night. He had a big 3 in the corner, a couple key tip-ins in that fourth quarter, 17 points in 42 minutes.
8 rebounds, 2 for Jackson in Game 3.
Yeah, he was terrific.
Terry.
Again, that presence of Stoudemire, you don't know when he's going to go to block the shot. That time, Terry just sort of pulled the string. And there's Quentin Richardson. He's missed 3 of those very makeable threes. That's the spot he likes on the floor.
So Richardson has started 1 of 4. As Doug said, from long distance, he hasn't hit. Here's Dirk Nowitzki. And Dirk has started 2 of 2.
He loves to come down and transition at you, but don't blink because Stoudemire is right back at you.
Stepped out of bounds. Now Jerry Stackhouse will come in, Doug, for the Dallas Mavericks and take the place of Michael Finley.
Jerry Stackhouse had great energy the other night. He struggled early, then he worked himself to a decent game. He had 20 points off the bench, only 6 of 18 from the floor, but he did get to the line 8 times, had 5 offensive rebounds. Armstrong in the game early, so it looks like they're going to try to get up the floor and try to really pressure Steve Nash now with Darrell Armstrong in the game.
Stackhouse in this playoffs has averaged 14 points a game with a miss right there from point-blank range. Here comes Nash and into Quentin Richardson. So Richardson not scoring from outside, 2 times inside. Nash another assist.
That's a smart play. You get that, don't have the jumper going, get inside, get you a couple layups, and then move yourself out on the floor.
Neither team has hit a 3 as of yet. Let's see if Stackhouse is the first.
Right on cue. They missed their first 10 threes of the game the other night, only 1 of 18. Jerry Stackhouse actually hit the first 3 of the game the other night for them, but that was in the 3rd period, right at the end of the 3rd period when they cut the lead to 5.
I mean, 1 of 18, my goodness.
Yeah, that's not good.
Nash called the foul. Armstrong in the game for the first time takes it. And that's a new little wrinkle for Dallas to bring him in as early as they are.
They want him up the floor pressuring him, then they'll put a bigger guy on him. They're going to keep changing looks at Steve Nash. Try to wear him down as this game goes on, make him work on both ends of the floor. Dallas is off to a good start here, Kevin. Nowitzki's hit a couple shots. Jason Terry's being aggressive. Good signs for the Mavs.
Welcome back to Dallas. Well, this past Thursday, the Suns' Joe Johnson underwent successful eye surgery to repair a fractured eye socket. He obviously did not make this trip. He is resting comfortably back in Phoenix. I was told by Brian Colangelo, the team's president and general manager, that no timetable has been set for his return. It could be anywhere from 10 days, 2 weeks, to possibly more, but it is the doctor's decision. He did tell me, however, that Johnson will be fitted tomorrow for a protective mask, but right now the team is prepared to go the rest of the way without Johnson, guys.
The kind of mask that Richard Hamilton wears for the champion Pistons.
Yeah, but what a tough break that was. You see on the wristbands, it says JJ2 in sort of honor of their teammate who got injured. And Kevin, we want to send our best to JJ. He's back watching in Phoenix. I know he really wants to be here with his team, and they miss him. And let's hope he can get back on this court soon.
Neither team made a change out of that break as Nowitzki goes inside. Howard picks up the loose ball, and Dampier takes another. And just as we saw in Game 2, which Dallas won, Dampier has gone 3 of 3, another offensive rebound, and he gives Dallas their biggest lead tonight.
Again, you see Armstrong out pressuring Nash, trying to keep him in front of him. They'd like to make him a jump shooter. They'll live with that. They want Nash shooting the ball and not getting others involved. The other night, 27 points and 17 assists led to 60 points.
And Nash already has started 3 of 4. Richardson faking a 3. Jackson from 3. Jimmy Jackson.
How about when you have a pro like that on your team, you pick him up from New Orleans. He did not report. You bring him in, comes off the bench. The more minutes he gets, the better he plays.
Nash's 6 points lead all scorers. Shot clock is down to 5, and Stackhouse is in a grip. Rebound Howard, an offensive rebound, and Dallas does that so well.
Had 24 offensive rebounds, Kevin, in Game 3, but they only got 19 points off of him. So they have got to continue to pound that offensive backboard, but they've got to be able to cash them into points.
Had 5 ties and 3 lead changes to start this game, and this is Jimmy Jackson again. And Dampier rips down another rebound, so he's got 4 rebounds and 6 points for Dallas.
I think Avery had another little talk with Eric Dampier. He's got a little bit of bounce in his step tonight.
I think you're right. I think he had one with Jason Terry as well. Here's Nowitzki.
That's a tough shot, but look at it again. Another offensive rebound. Quentin Richardson did not block off the boards. That's twice in a row now. You force him to take a very difficult shot. Early in Game 3, they really hammered the offensive boards. They were up 15-6 rebounding-wise in the first quarter of Game 3.
Here comes the MVP, 31-year-old Steve Nash. And spoon feeds Stoudemire, who was fouled, it looked like, before the shot. A look at Avery Johnson. And let's take a look at the blueprint to success for the Dallas Mavericks, down 2 games to 1 tonight.
Kevin, pace of the game. The season, they averaged about 82 shots a game. Game 3, they took 100 shots. In Game 1, 98. So they've got to be smart with the amount of shots they take. Defend the 3 in the 2 losses. Minus 30 in one game, minus 21 another, so minus 51 in those 2 areas, and make shots. Game 3, you see what they shot, Kevin, on the season. When they shoot 45% or better, they are 43-3, and in the playoffs, 5-1. Where they do not shoot 45% or better, they're 0-4. For Dallas, making shots triggers a lot of good things to happen for them.
And we've seen it early with Dampier, who are establishing the post, as we have seen, part of that equation.
And what he's done, Dampier, early in the game, he's got 3 hustle plays, 3 hustle baskets for 6 points. That's what we saw in Game 2 when he had 15 and 12.
And it's Steve Nash with the left hand. We saw a couple of those the other night in Game 3.
How about 12 of his field goals the other night in the game? 6 of them were left-handed.
And Dampier, there's a foul. And it's on Leandro Barbosa, the Brazilian, who picks up his first. He just checked in the lineup. He's out there with Nash. Normally, he takes the place of Nash on the floor.
Well, the reason he's with Nash right now is you see this running left-handed hook. Again, Steve Nash makes it look so easy. They would like for Barbosa to play with Nash, get into the game, get acclimated, and then when Steve Nash rests, they'll come back off the bench, and Barbosa will be ready to run the point.
Both teams have started over 52% shooting from the floor in this first quarter. And Doug, let's take a look at the keys for Phoenix coach Mike D'Antoni and his Suns tonight in Game 4.
Well, Amare is on a roll. They'd like to see that continue. His numbers have been off the chart in every phase of his game. What a balanced offense they had in Game 3. 33 points from the three-point line, 60 points in the paint. Defensive rebounding, 24 offensive rebounds in Game 3 tonight, already 4 of which Mavs have 8 second-chance points. Very positive sign for the Mavericks getting to the glass.
Very small lineup out there for Phoenix as Dirk Nowitzki hits again. He has started 3 of 4.
You see Josh Howard now playing Nash. You've got Darrell Armstrong over on Barbosa. The matchups continue to change.
And Nowitzki is guarding his old teammate Steve Nash, who flips it to Barbosa and across the lane over Armstrong. There's another Dallas rebound, and they are just one up on Phoenix in that category, 9-8. Great shot by Nowitzki again, who continues to score well. He and Nash have a game-high 8 points for their respective teams. That's Amare Stoudemire. And this is Sean Marion with a 3. Another Dallas rebound.
1 of 5 now for the three-point line for these Suns. When they don't shoot it well, they're very vulnerable. Dirk wants the ball over here against Nash. He has a mismatch. They move the ball. They're going to get a wide-open 3.
Stackhouse for 3. And an offensive rebound almost, or was it knocked away? It was. It's off Armstrong. It's off of Dallas. And Phoenix will come the other way. The Mavericks, Doug, have already corralled 4 offensive rebounds.
And they've converted them all into points, 8 second-chance points. A great hustle there by Darrell Armstrong and Quentin Richardson. That's why Armstrong is in the game. I think Dallas wants to do less switching tonight on the screen rolls than what we've seen in the series. Avery Johnson gave us a stat. He said we switched 20 pick and rolls the other night. They got 33 points against it. We do not want to do that tonight. We want to do a better job.
Dampier just picked up his first. I wonder what kind of hook Avery's going to have on Dampier tonight if he does get in foul problems, as has been his case.
Well, he will not sit on the bench tonight with fouls. He'll foul out. He's not going to leave the building with any fouls in his pocket. Avery told us that. He said if he gets 2, I'm going to leave him in the game and let him keep playing.
Buck and a half to play here in the first quarter. It's Nash and Richardson. The Stackhouse defending in the shot clock at 6 and a foul. With the shot clock going down, Stackhouse picks up a foul. That's the first on Stack.
Jerry very upset at himself. You know, the Cardinal rule, you don't want to foul a jump shooter. At good position at the last second, hit Quentin Richardson on the arm. And see, Quentin Richardson is struggling right now to make his jump shot. You don't want to let him go to the free throw line and make free throws. He steps up and misses first one, but when a shooter's struggling, don't let him see that ball go in the basket.
Phoenix now 3 of 5 from the line. Tune in to catch the action as the WNBA season tips off on ABC when Lisa Leslie and the Sparks travel to Seattle to take on Sue Bird. And the defending champion Seattle Storm on Saturday at 4 o'clock on ABC. A double team Stackhouse who squeezes between the two. They had Barbosa and Richardson will pick up his first personal foul for the Phoenix Suns.
Jerry Stackhouse wanted the 2-shot foul. Bennett Salvatore ruled that he was fouled before he got in the act of shooting. See if they come back to Stackhouse once again against Barbosa in the post. Clock did not start, so they're going to have to reset it. Give the ball sideline out of bounds once again to Dallas. See, the matchup that the Mavericks like here is Barbosa guarding Stackhouse in the post, and if they have to double team, I don't think Jackson's going to be able to come in here because they did not have the clock right, so he's going to have to wait for another stoppage of play.
Jimmy Jackson used to play here for Dallas from 92 to 97. That was his first stop in the NBA. It's Armstrong for 2.
They're going to force a double team. You got Barbosa on Stackhouse. Jerry will take his time, swings it nicely to the weak side of the floor, and Armstrong, who has not shot the ball well this season, knocked in the jump shot.
Dallas is on a 6-0 run. Nobody is in double figures as of yet. Nash to Stoudemire. He took that over Howard. There's another Dampier rebound. He's collected 5 with his 6 points to start the game. Stackhouse again.